Hey everyone, and welcome back to OntarioCyrptids. First, to most Canadians, I would like to say have a happy Civic Holiday, which means this is a long weekend. And this weekend will be crazy since it kicks off the Caribana parade, which in Toronto is the Caribbean Carnival. In fact, this is happening today, which is Saturday. I will not be attending since I will be going to a family party. Alright, so I have two stories to share with you today. One is from Reddit and the other one comes from a longtime subscriber. This story came as a result of the stream, so thank you so much for taking the time to submit your story. Okay, if you have an encounter story that you would like to share, then please forward your stories to OntarioCyrptids@gmail.com. I would be honored to share your story with like-minded people. Go grab yourself a beverage and get cozy in your favorite spot and sit back and relax. This first story takes place in October 2020. We're going to be going to Waldo County, Maine, and the nearest town is Montville. I live in Maine, USA, in the Montville area. This happened Halloween of 2020. I have been doing a little ritual at midnight of October 30th to the 31st. I take sage out and say a little prayer of safe journey and farewell to all those souls passing through the veil. A friend wanted to join me. It was an extra special night because it was a rare full Samayan moon as well. As we stood out in that moonlit night, my friend told me to listen. She was hearing a strange, high-pitched noise. It sounded like an owl hoot, but it ended in a loud whoop. Like something was trying to imitate an owl, but couldn't hold it together at the end. It wasn't close to us, so whatever was making the call had to be very loud indeed. I have heard Bigfoot investigators say that Sabe do try to imitate bird calls such as owls. So, were we graced with the presence of Sabe on that Samian full moon? My friend thought so, and so do I. The next Samian, I went out to say farewell and saw these small point of lights rise up from the ground. There must have been hundreds of them. I went out on New Year's Eve just to smudge, and again I saw points of light, but only a few. One was in a tree across the yard from me, and it blinked off and then back on. My friend passed away in the house we shared for almost 2 years. One day, I was standing in the hallway facing the front door. I caught movement out of the corner of my right eye. I turned my head slightly, and standing behind me was a full-body apparition. The face didn't have any distinct facial features, but it stood a few inches shorter than me. I'm pretty sure this was her. I didn't say anything, just dipped my head in acknowledgement, and she was gone. I burned sage and palo wood every so often to keep the house clear of negative and dark energies. So I did a little digging, and this is what I found out about this practice. For the Celts who lived during the Iron Age in what is now Ireland, Scotland, and the UK, and other parts of Northern Europe, Samayan means literally in modern Irish, summer's end. It marks the end of the summer and kicks off the Celtic New Year. For Celtic pagans, it also signaled the beginning of winter, which they associate with death. On this day, the Celts believed the veil between the living and the dead was especially thin. So this one takes place sometime between the fall and winter of 2021, and it is somewhere in mid-Michigan. 2 months ago, my boyfriend and I moved out of a bigger city to the woods. We both lived in the country before, and my hometown is the next town over. We both feel comfortable here, but since we've moved, things have been gotten progressively weirder. We live on about 2 acres in mid-Michigan, and behind the house is nothing but woods. We have 2 animals, a 1-year-old Doberman and a 4-year-old Maine Coon, which is big breed cat. It is currently midwinter here, and we've been hit with a few good snowstorms since Christmas. Also, the house is surrounded by motion-sensing lights and cameras. Okay, context over. The first week we moved in, there was what sounded like someone pacing back and forth in the tree line. When we called out to it, there was no reply, but the pacing did not stop either. This continued not every night, but often. The next week, whatever it was, had also started murmuring to itself in the woods. This creeped me out. The hell out, and we stopped hanging out on the patio after that. Next, the motion lights would randomly turn on. Not thinking much of it because we do live in the woods and animals such as deer frequent our backyard, I just ignored it. Yet, over the next few nights, it got to the point where the lights just don't ever turn off, like something is constantly triggering them. Remember, we're in Michigan. There's been a good coat of snow on the ground for weeks now. Theoretically, we should see the tracks for whatever is keeping the lights on, right? However, there are no tracks in the snow whatsoever, not even deer. Since this, our animals have started to act strange. Their Doberman sits at the back door and barks. Not just any bark, but the kinds that makes you feel like he's about to tear someone's head off. I've literally never heard him this amped up, and we've had him for 8 weeks. Yet, when you open the door to let him out, he becomes timid. He won't wander too far into the back, and he'll never go to the tree line. Sometimes he won't go outside at all. It's like all he wants to do is sit there and make his presence known. The Maine Coon is just as interested in the backyard, constantly staring off into the distance. If he finally breaks his gaze, then he follows me around meowing at me as if he's trying to tell me something. Tonight was the craziest shit I've ever experienced. Our back slider is in the living room, and just outside is our patio. We're sitting on the couch winding down for the night. Both animals and my boyfriend are asleep in the living room with me, but I'm up, watching TikTok. Then I hear what sounded like our dog outside whimpering in distress, like he's cold or hurt. However, I'm looking at our dog, and he is no more than 5 feet from me, knocked out on the couch. I try to ignore this, but it continues until I wake up my boyfriend. And then, of course, it stops, and I let it go thinking I'm just hearing things. He falls back asleep, and I settle back under the blanket with him. Then I hear what sounds like our cat outside whimpering, but our cat is on my lap purring. This is when I get up and I make my boyfriend go check it out. He walks the perimeter of the house, and I peek my head out of the slider to watch. We both hear branches snapping in the woods, but no tracks where I heard the animal whining. Our motion lights have been on for over 6 hours straight now, and the noises have lessened but continued. Our cameras haven't picked up anything, and there are still no tracks in the snow. I am so confused, I have no clue what to do. Any feedback or suggestions would be appreciated. Thank you. So if any of you guys have any suggestions what they can do, they already have motion lights on. I'm not sure what else they can do. Leave your suggestions below. Now, I did find out that this person is renting, and I'm actually curious to find out if they're still in that location and if they're still having weird events going on. So if you can comment below and let us all know, that would be greatly appreciated. And thanks again for the first story. I'm not sure if I can say who it is. If they want to reveal themselves, they can. But again, it is a long-time subscriber. So thank you to both of you for letting me share your story on this channel. And if any of you guys have an encounter that you would like to share, then please forward your stories to OntarioCyrptids@gmail.com. Again, I would be honored to share your story right here. So I hope everybody has a fantastic weekend. I know it is time for me to go get my party hat on because I have to go to a family birthday, which I know is going to be a ton of fun. So everyone out there, have a great Civic Holiday. For those in the States, have a fantastic holiday anyways, even though it's not a long weekend for you guys. But I have a funny feeling we have a lot of Americans up here this weekend who will be going to the Caribana parade. All right. Thank you guys for listening until the end. I truly appreciate it. Please hit the like button on your way out and smash the subscribe button if you're new to my channel. And don't forget to hit the notification bell. Have a great weekend, and I hope to see you all next week right here on OntarioCyrptids.